Nobody has to work in heaven, but a lot of people choose to. Hi, my name's Dakota Lee. I have a gift to see in the spirit. I'm a professional animal communicator, and God has been letting me visit heaven since I was 12 years old. One thing I learned about heaven is that, amazingly, some people actually choose to work. And once I was walking down a street in New Jerusalem, which is heaven's biggest city, and I found myself in a place that was fairly similar to my time. It kind of reminded me of 1980s New York, maybe. Not that I was ever there. I wasn't even born in the 1980s, but from the movies I've seen, that's sort of what it reminded me of, except it was clean and bright. There was lots of sunshine. And so as I walked along, I took in a breath. Now, when my spirit is in heaven, my senses are not, in some ways they're sharper and in some ways they're duller. So if I ever eat something spiritually, I can taste it, but not as strongly as I would taste it on earth. But even with that, I took in a deep breath of that air in heaven, and I smelled something really fragrant. I turned to my left, and I found myself looking in this giant storefront windows of a flower shop. It was an actual shop of flowers. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to go in. So I opened this door. I think there was a little bell that even rang above the door. And I walked in, and I swear, I was like I was transported, because every surface and every wall, except the windows, and even then they were covered a little bit, was covered with flowers. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. There was, I mean, I don't know flowers very well, but there were literally every color that I could see, stacked from floor to ceiling. Everything sort of had its own design. And my favorite part of the store, well, there were two favorite parts of the store. One was in the center of the store. There was this little natural looking stream that went straight through the store, and you literally had to step over it to go and peruse the other flowers. And it created this humidity that I think was also good for the flowers. And then when I looked over at the shop owner, he was at the counter, and behind him was this entire wall covered in, like, it looked like climbing carnations, red carnations, and these vines. I don't know if that's actually, if there's that kind of plant that's possible on earth, but in heaven it was. They were climbed the wall, and they actually were climbing onto the ceiling. And so when I looked up, there were also these red flowers above me on the ceiling, just clinging. And it was so beautiful. I think I really love natural places. Personally, I don't always love cities. And so I was drawn to this shop because I was suddenly in like a beautiful flower forest. I asked basically the Holy Spirit, because he's always with me. I asked him, and especially in heaven, I asked him a question. I love these flowers. How would it work if I took some back with me? And the answer came, well, Dakota, you are not here. So you can't take them with you, unfortunately. Like, I couldn't transport them somehow magically from heaven into the physical world, although that would be awesome. But I can't do that. But the Holy Spirit told me that when this happens, someone comes into the shop, they see a set of flowers that they like, they pick them out, go to the front of the store and say, I'd like to have these. The shop owner says, that sounds great, you can have them, wraps them up, and they take them home. Or if they order a ton of flowers, they make arrangements to take them home. And there is no money. The only reason someone has a flower shop in heaven is because this man loved flowers, and he loved sharing the joy of flowers, and he always sort of wanted a shop of flowers where he could really do it his way. I've never seen a shop like that before. It was like walking into a really intense garden. It was beautiful. So there's no money, and there are also not supply chain issues. If anyone can just take as many flowers as they want home, then wouldn't the shop owner run out of flowers, because there's no money barrier to stop people from taking them? Well, there's a few reasons this isn't a problem. One, the Holy Spirit is in charge in so many ways. And so the Holy Spirit is working in everyone's heart. So people wander into the shop and take just the right amount of flowers. The Holy Spirit speaks to the shop owner, and he goes and procures the flowers that he's probably going to need for the rest of the week. And so it's this really beautiful dynamic. Almost any of the cultural gaps you might imagine would be in heaven, from stuff like supply and demand, the Holy Spirit is the one that's knowledge. He's speaking to people, and he fills those gaps. Anyway, there is no money in heaven, and people only work if they really want to, if they really have a desire to share something. And you do exactly what you want to do. Some people want to work, not everyone does. But it's a really beautiful dynamic that is all smoothed over by the Holy Spirit.